Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I will create a custom trend indicator that will be based on one moving average. So I know that I have done quite a few trend indicators on this channel, but this is going to be a new concept, a new idea, therefore it's going to be very interesting and fun. Okay, so I will start by explaining the concept to you, and then I will switch to my IDE and I will start with the coding part of this video. So the idea is pretty simple. I will use one moving average, as you can see here on my chart, and basically what I will try to do is that I will try to differentiate between sideways market and trending markets by analyzing how many times did the candlesticks touch the moving average. Okay, so the idea is that basically when we are in a sideways market, the candlesticks will touch the moving average quite often because there's no trend, therefore they go sideways, or the price goes sideways, and therefore the moving average goes sideways as well. So for example, you can see that in this area where there's a sideways trend, the candlesticks touch the moving average very often. And then if we switch, for example, to this area, you can see that we are in an uptrend and none of these candlesticks touch the moving average. That's because it's an uptrend. The same goes for the downtrend. So if I look for strong downtrend, I don't know where's the downtrend. For example, here you can see that none of these candlesticks touch the moving average, and that's because it's a downtrend. So yeah, I don't know if this will work, but I think it should, because it does make sense, and therefore I will try and put this idea into a custom indicator. So yeah, let's get to the coding part. So I'll go to my IDE, I will go to indicators folder. Inside that I will find my YouTube folder, and I will create a new file inside my YouTube folder. So it will be custom indicator, so let's click on next, and let's call this MA bar touch, something like this, and parameters. So let's add two parameters. So the first parameter will be moving average period. So that's basically, let's set this to 100 by default. And the second period, the second input will be look back, or analysis period, which will be, let's set this to 100 as well. So basically what analysis period is that basically, for example, let's say that we are at this point, okay, so we are here, and then the analysis period basically means how many candlesticks back we will analyze. So for example, if look back period is 10, we will look at these candlesticks and we will check how many times did they touch the moving average. Okay, so that's basically the look back period. And the indicator will be in a separate window, so I will check this box right here, and let's say it will have one plot. Let's go with one plot for now, and I will change it in the actual code if I have to later. So let's just call this line, yeah, and let's change its color to deep sky blue. Let's write deep sky blue. So let's click on finish, and this is our code. So first of all, I have to increase the font size, so this should be okay. And let's start with the coding part. Okay, so first of all, what we have to do is that we have to create a handle for the moving average. So since we will be working with moving average, which is a built-in indicator in MQL5, we have to use handle to basically use that moving average. Yeah, so let's create MA handle of type integer, and now on its function I just say MA handle is equal to I.MA for the current current symbol, current period, moving average period is MA period, moving average shift is 0, mode, and now mode, I think we can do simple moving average and price close. Perfect. So now let's go here on calculate function, and yeah, so let's define our I variable. So static integer I is equal to 0. Now for loop, so for I lower than arrays total and I plus plus, so we increase the I with each iteration. So far so good. So now I will create a double. Okay, so now let's think about what we have to do. Of course, we have to get some moving average values, so we can basically check them against the price values. Okay, so I guess we need look back. We need, so if the analysis period is 100, we need to get 100 moving average values. Okay, so double, and let's call this MA array. So this is basically my array for storing the moving average values. And let's calculate shift, which will be arrays total minus I. So this is basically on which candle, or this is like an ID or number of the candle we are currently working with. And then we will just call the copy buffer function with MA handle. Buffer number is 0, starting position is shift, and we need analysis period as count. Okay, so we need this many values, and we will store all these values into MA array. Perfect. Okay, so now let's create another array called touched, or let's just, no, we don't have to create an array because we just have to increase. Okay, so let's call this sum, which will equal to 0 for now. Okay, so now what we have so far. So far we have an array which inside which are moving average values. So in this case there are 100 moving average values. So now we have to loop through each of those values, and we have to check whether the price at a certain time touched that certain moving average value. Okay, so let's create a for loop. So for integer x is equal to 0, x is lower than analysis period and x plus plus. So now this is our for loop. So now just for this to be okay, so what to do now? Okay, so we can create a couple of variables in here, or let's create them here, and then I will just change something very quickly, but let's start with this. So double, so current MA value will be equal to analysis period at position X. So now so in order to detect whether the whether a candlestick touched the moving average, we need to get high and low, and then basically we have to say if high is higher than moving average and low is lower than moving average, then it means that the moving average is inside that candlestick, therefore it touched. Okay, so that's basically what we are doing here. So high of candle and low of candle. So now the tricky part is to get the values right. Okay, so let me just think about this for a bit. Okay, so of course it will be high at position I, and now we have to either increase or decrease by x. Okay, so let's think about this. So what happens if we increase? So moving average array. Okay, so okay. Okay. So what's it gonna be? Moving average array. Okay, so basically, let's say that the shift is 1, or let's say that the shift is 1000. Okay, so now we go just one thing here. Analysis period. So now we basically go 100 values back and we get those 100 values. So basically we get values starting at 900 going to 1000 if the shift is 1000. Okay, and we store them into moving average array. And the moving average array at position 0 is equal to the moving average value for shift of now 900 or 1000. For the shift of 900. For the shift of 900. Okay, so let me just say here. So MA array position 0 last one 100. Okay, so now if we loop through all of these values, we basically okay, it will be much easier to do this thing. So array set as series. I will just do this thing. MA array true. Okay, so now I just basically switch the order of values. So now moving average at position 0 is the most recent MA value. Okay, so by doing this will be easier. So now basically at this point we are dealing with the most recent value, therefore we have to do high and minus x. Okay, so sorry, this took me quite a while, but it's important to get these things right, or at least I hope I got it right. If not, we will check it later. Okay, so perfect. And now no analysis period, MA array, perfect. So now what we basically want to do, let's create a boolean variable called t. Let's just call it t, I don't know why. And let's say, so if high of candle higher than current MA value and low of candle is lower than current MA value. Okay, so now sum is equal, so t sum plus equals. Okay, so I hope I will get this right. Okay, so this should basically do the trick for us, and I'll just this to here. Okay, so far this seems pretty okay, and now line buffer at position I is equal to sum. Okay, so let's try this. So basically what I did is that under this t value, which is true or false, is whether the moving average is inside that candlestick. So if it's inside, then the true is true, otherwise it's false. And here this is basically sum variable. Sum this is basically how many of those candlesticks did touch the moving average. So if t is true, then we increase the sum by 1, therefore it touched, otherwise by 0 it didn't touch. And then basically I just assigned the sum variable to the line buffer array. So I think it's good like this. Just a few things. I will declare these variables outside the for loop because I don't want to create new variable each time I run this. So I know it's not the best looking code, but it should do the trick. Okay, so let's just check this. So MA bar touch. So now let's do this. So I will just find my not Fiverr, YouTube, and MA bar touch. Okay, so this will be very interesting, and let's just hope for the best. And yeah, this seems quite nice, to be honest. Okay, so the good thing is that this works. Whether it's correct, we don't know. We will try to check that now. Okay, so one thing I can do here is that I can also set one level. So indicator level 1 is equal to 0, because I know that value of the indicator can be lower than 0, because if none of those candlesticks touch, it's 0. Okay, so that's that. And now I'll just go here and I will deploy the indicator on my chart here. So let's do 50 and let's do 20. Okay, so this doesn't seem right. This doesn't seem right. So I did something wrong somewhere, or maybe I didn't. Okay, so let's check this. So now what should basically happen here? Let's just do one thing. Okay, so now I'm just basically trying to figure out whether my indicator works correctly or not. And it seems like it does. Okay, so I am happy to tell you it does work correctly. This is perfect. Okay, so let's just check it so we are sure. Okay, so what we are basically doing with the indicator is that we are using 100 moving average, yeah, and analysis period is 20. So we go back 20 candlesticks and we check the touch on 20 candlesticks. So for example, at this point, it tells us that there are 13 candlesticks that touch. Okay, so if we go from this point 20 candlesticks back, which is right here, so let's count together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, okay? So at this point, if you look back 20 candlesticks, 13 of them do touch, which is correct. And then when the trend starts, basically you can see that none of these candlesticks touch, therefore the value of the indicator is at 0. So this is perfect. I'll just change the plot size. So just 1 second. So this is really good. To be honest with you, this seems pretty promising. So now it's better. So basically how you can read this indicator is that when you have these spikes, that means that there's a sideways market. And we can check this on our come on. And we can check this. So it starts here somewhere, okay, and it goes somewhere here. Okay, so based on our indicator, this is sideways market, which it is basically, yeah. So we did very well in catching this area, which is perfect. Of course, it's not 100% perfect because Here you can see that there's a new trend starting, but yeah, we can never catch like the perfect area because it's not possible. And this seems pretty nice, to be honest with you. So let's just check this for another instances as well. So in this case, it does a good job telling us that here is a sideways market as well, because it is, and then here it's not. So this is quite nice. This is really nice. So let's just change the settings to 100, for example. Oh, let's keep this, let's set this 25, this 200. So now basically we can see that it highlights. Whoa. well, this turned out very well, because now what we can see is that it basically highlights this entire area of sideways market, which it is, as you can see. So this is extremely powerful. Okay, so to be honest with you, I really do like this. Wow. Okay, so just sorry, is my camera okay? It moved. Sorry for this, but I guess you you are not here for looking at me. But okay, so this is really nice, and then it does extremely good job catching the trend. So if we highlight the trend area, basically, yeah. So this is really good. Of course, we can play with the settings. So for example, 200. Like there's always a trade-off between the period of moving average and basically how well the indicator adapts to the current market. So basically with 200 moving average, it takes a while to catch the change of the trend. So for example, here in the end, here you can see that the market fails to catch these movements. Okay, but that's because the moving average period. Or is it not? Okay, so it seems like the calculations are not entirely correct, because if we are at this point and we look back 200 candlesticks, we should see this and we should plot this. And for some reason, we get this at this point. Okay, so now let me just think. Okay, so I guess it's, or is it? Come on. So we are at this point and we check 20 candlesticks back. Should. Okay, so obviously it's not entirely correct. There are some things that are not entirely correct. So there's a big lag. You can see that the sideways market happening right here, and we catch it at this point. So this is not correct. Okay, so how long? 23 minutes. That's okay so far. So let's go and try to find this error. Okay, so let's just try one very simple thing, just to see if this gets corrected. And now we can see that it's less smooth. But no, this is not it. Okay, so let's just check the code and let's see if we can spot the error. Okay, so here we defined our array for moving average values. There's nothing bad with this. Array set a series. We basically invert the indexing of the array, which is also okay. Current value, high of candle, low of candle T. Nothing wrong. Static integer, nothing wrong. So nothing wrong. Sum, okay. Rate shift is also okay. So let's check the copy buffer. So MA handle, okay. 0 is okay as well. So now shift is also okay. And analysis period. So now basically we go back 100 candlesticks and we or 100 values, and we get and store these 100 values inside the moving average array. And then we go here. So I guess the error has to be in here, because otherwise, yeah. So integer x is equal to 0, and until x is lower than analysis period, which is for example 50, let's say, increase the x. So we start for MA array at position x, which is the most recent, value. Well, this seems okay, because this is our most recent value, and for our most recent value we get high at I, which is most recent value, minus the x. So if x is 0, then we get the most recent high for the most recent value, moving average value. And then basically as we go back in the array, so for example position 5, then we get the 5th most recent moving average value, and we go 5 highs back. Yeah, so that's basically the idea. So this seems okay as well. So high of candle, current time value, and low of candle current. This is also okay. Sum. This is also okay, and we basically reset the sum here. So this is also okay. Okay, so I don't see the error here, which is strange, but it can also be... Okay, so I think if you don't want to spend time with me trying to figure out the error, you can end this video now, because yeah, this is... Maybe it's the correct version, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't know for how long I will be here. So thank you, and for the rest of us, for the rest of you, let's figure this out. Okay, so what's happening? I am at this point. Okay, so I am at this point, or did I 220? Don't tell me that this is the... Okay, so I found the issue. And it's pretty simple. Okay, so the issue was that I just didn't update the moving average on our chart. So yeah, perfect. So I was basically using different settings for the MA bar touch indicator and different settings for this moving average on my chart. So that's where the issue was, and the calculation is correct. Perfect, so yeah, this is it. This is it for this video. So what's this? Just 1 second. So thank you for watching. Yeah, I think it's this one. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I think this is a good indicator, really good indicator. Yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.